There we go.
Hokey Religion is an ancient weapon. No match for a good blaster, she said.
Welcome to Hokey Religion, the Star Wars podcast. This is Tyler.
This is Michael.
Michael found a hype horn app, and that's all I'm ever going to hear again. And a ham horn.
Ham horn.
Ham horn. Thank you for that. That was truly beneficial to the podcast. Nope. Now that your eardrums are completely exploded, welcome to the show.
Hello.
We're back for another episode to talk about Star Wars and nothing in particular like we always do.
Yep. Nothing in particular.
What nothing do you have to talk about, Michael?
Not a whole lot. I'm going on vacation soon. What about you?
I already did that. I'm going to drink some beer.
All right. Going on vacation up to a mountain.
Just one of them.
One mountain.
Everyone go to a mountain, you might find Michael.
No. Don't do that.
Okay.
I don't want to see anybody.
Anyone.
Especially you people.
Well, there's no one there to see.
In mountain?
No, just in the podcast zone.
Well, there's 5 people maybe?
Possibly.
Our listener stats. We could track about 5 regular people.
Sure, why not? Something like that.
And the one person that likes all our tweets, our friend.
Thanks, guy. Yeah. So guess what didn't happen since our last recording?
Something that I'm very angry about.
So we bitched and moaned on our last episode that, okay, we're talking about the fact that Rogue One tickets haven't gone on sale yet, and they're definitely going to go up right after we release this episode.
We spent so much time...
And nothing.
We spent so much time saying that, these things are going to... it's going to be released by the time this episode comes out, and nothing happened.
There's been no rumors, no announcements, no anything. There's been nothing to hint to tickets being sold.
We should have come out and said that Jason at Making Star Wars was just wrong. And we would have been the only ones saying that he was wrong.
Start podcast
and then we would have
beef.
been right.
Just start some podcast
yeah,
beef.
I'm ready to start a beef. I'll beef all over.
I love beef. Wait, what?
I'll beef all over whoever wants it.
Michael's ready for a good beefing, y'all.
I'm ready to beef.
Everyone bring your meat. Beef
you want
Michael.
this beef? I'll put this beef inside me.
Just
don't you worry about it.
Michael's just bottling up all his beef, waiting to start something.
I'm unplugging all these holes to get all this beef in here.
I don't think that's how beefing works. Not the kind that I'm talking about. I'm sure there's a beefing that can happen somewhat like that.
You know I'm ready for a beef injection. All over.
Gross. Okay. I can't even handle our bits anymore. So no tickets still.
Beef syringe.
Gross. Well, the podcast has been canceled by the universe. This will be the last time you've ever heard us say anything.
I'm getting an email here. It says, we're canceled.
Okay.
So,
confirmed.
Shut it down.
Email from God at yahoo.com.
Why does he use Yahoo?
I don't know. I just
There's
figured
so many other options.
He's been around a long time. Most old people use something like that. AOL, Yahoo.
He's not still rocking Netscape?
Sure. It's from his personal GeoCities site.
Does God use Tor? Do you think he hides everything he searches for behind a Tor VPN?
Sure, why not?
You gotta keep that secret, you know?
You gotta hide all the stuff. So we were talking about Rogue One tickets.
You don't have ultimate wisdom for... No. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Nope, no one does. Not even me. So when will tickets be on sale? Tell us.
Thanksgiving?
Right? When else would they be? What else would happen that would make a pre-sale imminent?
Thanksgiving would be... it's, as of recording, it's 30 days.
Yeah, it's 30 days
No,
until
31. Well, it's
whatever.
basically 30 days.
as of recording. So by the time you hear this episode, it will be
less than a month.
closer to 20 days. And
So Thanksgiving would be what, 3 weeks away from
Yeah.
release, right? 3. That's about 3. Yeah.
yeah, I can't imagine, unless it's just like, oh, hey, look, they're up to buy online now. But I would imagine there would be a pre-release of some sort.
I was asking this last episode. Do you think there's even going to be a pre-release?
Seeing as how The Force Awakens destroyed, what website was it? Fandango.
Yeah.
And brought them to their knees for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
You would think they would be expecting some sort of,
Yeah.
big ticket purchase to bring their site down. So you would think there'd be some sort of plan around that, unless they just release it and it's it won't bring anything down because no one will know it's here. They'll just trickle in and discover it on their own.
You think it's here right now? Is that what you're
It'd be
saying?
really funny if you just pulled a number everything's sold out for the next 2 weeks.
Oh no, this is terrible. There's definitely demand. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
everyone is looking to pre-order tickets for the movie, but there's not been an announcement, anything.
Well,
about
it. Us, all the hardcore peoples.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Thanksgiving would be the only time that would make sense, but they wouldn't do it over Thanksgiving weekend because maybe Thursday when there's football games and stuff on Thanksgiving Day, maybe.
Are there football games? I don't know.
Yes, there's.
Do they do football on
There's big football
Thanksgiving?
games on Thanksgiving.
There's a football parade, right?
Yeah, just all the footballers march down the street in their uniforms.
Tight football pants.
Yep, that's it.
There's
Michael's just dreaming now. So you wouldn't do it.
Hold on.
Tight pants. Wait a minute.
Never mind. It was a bad joke.
They all are.
What were you gonna say?
They're not going to do it on Black Friday because everyone's going to be shitting themselves with buying cheap toasters. So Thanksgiving Day, maybe.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Saying they're not going to release tickets on Black Friday because everyone's going to be out buying cheap toasters and shitting themselves over the $2 they saved on a toaster that's going to burn every slice. Thanksgiving Day, maybe, because there's football games and stuff that happen that day. Would they do it over Saturday or Sunday? I don't know.
I don't know.
But even for Force Awakens, there was an announcement that there was going to be a ticket pre-sale during the halftime. The tickets would go up during the halftime show of whatever football game that was.
Yeah, there was plenty of time to
know that
make
that's when it was
plans.
going to happen.
Right.
There's been nothing about that, and as of recording, Thanksgiving's a week and a half away.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
There could
Maybe
it
there
could
won't
just
be a
be up
pre-sale.
like a normal movie. Hey, it's 2 weeks until the movie comes out, so now the tickets are available because your theater
Well,
has
that's the
times
thing.
now.
I mean, by Thanksgiving, that's basically what's happening because it's 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So,
And for
Yeah,
people
maybe
who
it-
want to see it in an IMAX theater, like we did for Force Awakens, where there's 1 or 2 showings the first day,
yeah,
or
we want to get on
each
this
day,
bitch.
and we try to get the
Let's go.
first ones. Yeah, it'd be nice for it to go ahead and happen, for there to be some sort of announcement, unless it's just, oh, it's here now.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I can't imagine that there's not, they've not seen enough hype to do a pre-sale, right?
No.
There's been,
Like I said,
I would
there's
assume
plenty
there's
of-
been plenty of hype
There's
for the
plenty of
layperson.
demand for this. I mean, at least all the core fans, which are the people who are going to be buying
Yeah.
day one release tickets anyway, right? So that demand is there. So
I guess.
I don't know what's going on.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't. Yeah, Thanksgiving would be the only time that would make sense, but there would need to be an announcement again as of recording this week. There would need to be an announcement saying that tickets
Right.
are going up Thanksgiving week.
Now, in Hokey Religion tradition,
Yeah.
which we talked about this last time too,
Yeah.
we're going to mention this, and
Yes.
then they are going to go up.
We will
This
stop,
week,
Yeah,
right?
we will stop recording, and then there will be an announcement online as soon as we stop recording, and then the tickets will be for sale.
I think if we pause the recording right now, the tickets will go up.
They'll just go up and sell out, and then we'll come back and be
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I hope they finally go up for pre-sale. That would be nice to know what day I need to ask off for work so that I can go wait in line all day to see a movie like last time,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sure we're going to do that again.
Well, yeah.
What's the point in living if not?
That reminds me, we're going to be at Celebration.
Yes, in April or March. April.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there Friday and Saturday. Yes. because Sunday is Easter's, right? Easter's, right?
Yeah, it's 3 days this year instead of 2, right? Or
It's 4 days.
4 days.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will be there Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
You don't
think
know for
so.
sure. I could see the look on your
Yeah, I
face.
completely forget when we're going, to be honest.
Anyway, we'll be at Celebration. We're gonna hype that. We're gonna keep hyping that.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, we are going to be at Celebration, so come.
We're gonna be out there wearing our shirt. I don't know why I'm talking about this now. It's like 6 months
I don't know.
away.
It is like 6 months away. If you haven't bought tickets for Celebration,
Wait.
there's probably only like
December.
5 left.
Hold on.
So,
December, January, February, March, April.
Michael's doing
5 months.
his month math.
It's 5 months away.
Okay. So 5 months away, and we're already talking about it because, one, if you haven't bought tickets to Celebration, there's probably only like 2 left, so good luck getting in on Sunday.
I remember why I brought it up because they sent out an announcement very recently, like within the last week or so, that tickets are on sale.
Tickets are
even
still
though
on
they've
sale.
been on sale for a while.
Yeah, and there's
it's like a
there's
general-
probably only single days for certain days left, I'm sure.
I think the weekend passes might be gone. I'd have to check on that again, but
But yes, I just confirmed Friday and Saturday we will be there. 'Cause that's what tickets I purchased. Can't go the whole weekend for various reasons. But
yeah, but
we'll be there Friday and Saturday all day
We'll
long.
be there. We'll have our recording gear with us.
Yeah.
Probably recording junk. So
Yeah.
find us. Look for the Hokey Religion t-shirts.
Yeah, we'll be wearing those. You can tweet us and find us. We'll be all over the place, and we're making this announcement 5 months in advance so that you can plan to meet us there. I don't know why Michael brought it up, but I'm jumping on the train.
Yeah, I don't know why I brought it up either.
I don't know either.
Anyway, moving on.
So
Why do you have... Oh.
Why do you have?
Why do you have...
Why
What
do
are
you
these
have?
notes?
What's wrong with my notes?
It's not organized.
Nope, I didn't organize a thing.
It's not... How are we supposed to know?
I'm just going to talk about stuff that I like to talk about.
I see something about Spider-Man on here.
Well, I like Spider-Man. So
What kind of show is this?
it's a hokey one.
No, wait, that's not Spider-Man.
Can you
Uh-oh.
can you read?
I've got the wrong tab open.
I don't even. Not even gonna ask. So that cool thing was mentioned. Kodak had some kind of press conference thing. Who knows why? I don't know what Kodak does.
Wait, what?
Kodak had some
In a
kind of
press conference?
press conference. Yeah, they announced from their processing facility in the UK because I guess some dude stood up on a table in the processing facility. It was like, announcement,
For
guys.
some reason, I imagine like a late 70s British mobster. like
Hey, I
three
got
guys in a dimly lit factory. I don't know.
walking through,
With a bunch
making
of
an
rings
announcement.
on. I don't know.
But apparently
The
Kodak.
processing facility. I don't know.
Yeah. The Coke plant. Apparently, Kodak is now capable of handling 65 millimeter film, and one of the first projects to be using it, or one of the projects listed to be using it, will be Episode 9. So Episode 9 is going to be shot on 65 millimeter, which is super awesome.
Yeah,
and there will probably be 5 theaters in the whole of the United States that will be able to show actual 65 millimeter film.
Yeah, I mean, that's if they have showings. Would they even do that?
Yeah, what was it? In Tampa, Florida, because we're located in Florida.
Uh-huh.
Tampa, they did the, what was it, 70, I forget what millimeter episode.
That's
7 was
only
on.
like a few millimeters off. They could probably jam that in there.
Just
Jam that sucker in there.
slice the notches and move them in.
We should be clear that we don't know anything about projecting movies.
Nope. We know nothing about projection technicians and their skills therein, but it is really cool when you can see a movie on actual film instead of it just
Yeah.
being a digital projector.
Yeah, definitely.
I
know with,
Sadly, the one for episode 7 was like a 3-hour drive from us, so it really didn't make sense to go see it.
I know with the Hateful Eight, they were showing it in 35 millimeter
Yeah.
in a couple, art house kind of places.
That's really
you know?
cool.
So
But
yeah, it'd
it would
cool
be nice if more places can adopt showing physical film instead of just digital projection. But I don't know
the
if anywhere.
logistics for that have got to be insane.
It's probably really expensive to implement that.
How are they gonna do they're gonna have to like transfer it all to digital to do all the editing and the CGI and all that stuff.
And then reprint it.
No, I don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Obviously,
I
like,
don't
you have
think
to
they're gonna.
print they're not gonna shoot it. Well, they're probably gonna
They'll probably shoot it on film.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have to transfer it to digital to, like I said, do all the editing and the CGI and all the post-processing junk, But would they actually print it again to 65 millimeter to show it?
They were showing episode 7 on film in certain theaters.
Really?
Yeah. Like I just mentioned, down in Tampa.
Even though it was...
What's that? Did your computer just ribbit at us?
The thing is, you're not going to be able to hear that on the recording, so it's just in our ears.
We're just talking and suddenly a frog croaks in my ear while we're recording.
Very loudly.
Yes.
It was a very loud whack.
I think we should just add it into the recording now.
All right, sure. It was a very loud whack.
Oh, the podcast frog has come to visit.
The podcast frog.
Share with us your learnings.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Oh, not that frog. Yeah.
Oh, Pepe the frog. Oh, you're one of those people, huh? Okay, well.
Michael officially has lost it, just like every episode where we can say that. So yeah, episode 9 will be on 65 millimeter film, which I think is super cool.
Yep.
Hopefully more theaters can adopt showing it in film and is not crazy far from us to go view it.
Let's see here, 34-minute mark, frog sound. I got it.
You got it? Good. All right. Just add in like the Budweiser frogs. For no apparent reason.
I don't know why, but you mentioned that and the I Want My Baby Back song popped in my head.
That
totally
is
not the Budweiser
thing
frogs.
at all.
But
I mean,
still.
same era of commercial jingles and slogans.
It would be funny if you just put that in there. Like you thought that was a Budweiser frog. I don't know.
Oh yeah, put in that Budweiser frog. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
I don't know.
Why?
Anyway,
Why would that happen?
Moving along.
What?
Moving along.
Go. It's your turn to talk about something that you find interesting in the world.
Okay.
Not beef.
I don't have any notes on here.
No.
I can just read.
Very little has happened since last recording in the universe of Star Wars. As of recording,
Nothing has happened.
Catalyst came out today. As of
Yeah.
recording, I didn't have the chance in the 8 hours since I woke up this morning to read the entire book and record this podcast. So sorry about that.
Oh, you know what I can talk about? I bought some of the Vader series comics
Yeah.
the other day. I bought the 1 through 6 volume 1, and the Vader Down collection. And that's like towards the 13. I think it starts with like a Vader 13 or something. So there's a couple gaps I have to fill in. But I read volume 1, and man, that is so good. Like one of the things there were a couple things that stood out, but the biggest thing was, so I mean, if spoilers, whatever.
It's been like a couple years, hasn't it, since Vader started?
Yeah, it's at least a year, right?
At least a year. Yeah.
Anyway, 6 ends with, so long story short, Vader, hooked up with Palpatine. No, what am I trying to say? Vader hired Boba Fett. That is not what I was saying before.
That is not the same as hooking up with Palpatine.
Thinking about other things.
I'm well aware.
Oops. Kicking the table here. Get a little flustered. Vader hired Boba Fett to find Luke, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And this is before Vader knew who Luke was. He just knew him as the kid that he saw on the Death Star. I think he ran into him in the comics.
In the Star Wars series, they ran into each other as the rebels were attacking a production facility on a planet. They destroyed that facility.
And they had a short conversation.
They had a little bit of a conversation and a little bit of a run-in. Yeah.
So there was that. And then obviously the during the Death Star trench run, he felt him. He felt the Force anyway.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. Did he know? No, he probably put it together that...
Like, oh, this is that.
There was this kid,
guy.
this rebel kid. Yeah. I'm sure he heard the stories. Anyway, he hires Boba Fett to track down Luke. And at the end of the 6th issue, Boba Fett reports back and says the boy's name is Skywalker. So up until that point, Vader, like Palpatine has been marginalizing Vader and is blaming him for the Death Star and all this stuff. And so Vader, and at some point, Vader finds out about these like experiments that Palpatine had ordered. They were kind of like cyborg people almost. They were like some people that were trained from birth to, and like
clones
cybernetic,
almost?
yeah, like cybernetically enhanced. And then there was a lady that had, I don't know, there's a bunch of crazy,
Almost like supervillain type people.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's very
That's
comic
exactly
book
what-
supervillain-esque people.
but it was like lame supervillain, like B supervillains.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of. It's like Star Wars, I guess. It's like Star Wars Suicide Squad. But so Palpatine had ordered all of these B supervillains, and Vader basically found out that, oh, this is what Palpatine thinks of me. He thinks I'm just, and Palpatine says it pretty much outright. You're just a tool. I've lost faith in you, whatever.
And
But
one of
he has this
the
whole-
reasons he lost faith is because that production facility got destroyed by the rebels.
that was
even
just
after the
adding
Death
on to
Star,
the Death
yeah.
Star. Yeah, right. Because that was after the Death
Because that
Star.
was a major production facility for like AT-ATs and some of
Right.
their ships and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So long story short, Palpatine's super angry with Vader, and Vader is on thin ice with Palpatine. So back to Boba Fett. He finds out from Boba Fett that this is Luke Skywalker. He has all these flashbacks of, back to episode 3 where he finds out Padme's pregnant and right? That's how it
episode
happened,
3?
right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's pregnant, but of course, he was told by Palpatine that the children were lost during childbirth.
Yes, right. Yeah, and then like is realizing, he connects the dots and like, oh crap, this is my son.
Yeah.
So he like gets super angry and he's like cracking the glass.
Yeah, just from like,
in front of him on his ship.
he's just like not shivering. He's like quaking
In
with
the force,
anger,
yeah.
and like just like the window, like
Yeah.
the view window, just like like spider web cracks.
Yeah. And he goes and rings up Palpatine right away.
Ding dong.
FaceTimes Palpatine and is like, Palpatine can sense his anger and probably knows where the conversation is going to go, right? And Vader says, yes, I'm angry, and I want to do whatever I can to prove myself to you, basically. Yeah. And then says, I now understand us. And I think he says that, anyway, that's what he says.
Yeah.
And it just clicked in my head that, so I think this is the point where Vader sets in motion this plan that he talks to Luke about in Return of the Jedi of killing Palpatine and then ruling the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah.
Or I guess maybe he talks about an Empire too. But I think at this point he is like, okay, now I realize I have to kill Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like that's my destiny. I have to kill Palpatine
like
and rule the
Palpatine
galaxy
before him, and so on
Right.
and so forth. Everyone killing
Right.
their master.
Right. And I mean, he kind of had these plans with Padme originally before he was Vader. Anakin did, where he wanted Padme to come with him and they can rule the galaxy together as husband and wife or whatever. Like, they had
whatever
that,
stupid
remember that conversation,
love fever dream he had.
Remember that conversation they had in, what was it, Attack of the Clones or something, where Padme was talking about, she's
Nothing
like-
important.
I don't know, whatever. There's a bunch of junk there.
Yeah, then he sliced the CG fruit. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. But Anakin says something about, something along the lines of, I would just make people do what I want.
Oh, yeah.
If I ruled the galaxy or something like that.
I
right?
could just make people do what I want.
So he wanted that. He wanted him and Padme to
Well,
get
originally
married
he's
and
saying
then
he could make people do what he wanted for good. To
well,
not
sure, yeah.
do bad.
But that was his plan. That's how he thinks.
Well, yeah, he's always been kind of a dick.
Before he was, trying to do it for good reasons. Now he's just doing it I don't know. Maybe it could be the way, depending how you look at it, it could be good reasons. I don't know. Vader thinks differently than Palpatine does, basically.
Yeah.
He's more short-sighted. But,
Yes.
yeah, I just thought it was interesting. That moment is where it seems like that plan kind of clicked. Like, oh, okay, now I have a son. I have a purpose now. I need to kill Palpatine because he's done all these terrible things to me. He thinks I'm crap, whatever. I need to kill him and take over, blah, blah, blah.
And
I don't know.
just start the cycle over, basically.
Right. I just thought it was a cool, and, you know, like I said, I haven't read all of it yet, but that was a cool.
Yeah, the comics are...
Definitely want to
I
read
find
more.
the comics really hard to keep up with, not one of the main reasons being how expensive comic books are,
Yeah.
especially if you keep up issue to issue.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as I got, was the first 6 issues, and then
Right.
I couldn't pay to keep reading the comic books as
Right.
much as I want to.
That's why I kind of like to wait until they're all released. Like the Vader series is done.
Yeah.
I
I would even pay for like one of those monthly
It's done
services.
now, right?
Like Comixology has, monthly service. Some other places do too.
Yeah, it's done.
I think Marvel Unlimited has it as well, but I don't think the Star Wars comics are included.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So it's like I can't get them without like paying for the issues.
Right.
But yeah, that was one of the things reading the Vader comic, was when he realized that he had a son. And because, the comics were way before even, the movies came out, before we had The Force Awakens and stuff like that. So it was finally getting more backstory on stuff. And that was one of those things when, he realized he had a son. It's like, oh, shit, that's when that happened.
Right.
It wasn't in the movie. It wasn't in, Empire or wherever where he realized that
Right.
he knew and was planning all this other stuff around that happening, which
Right.
was really cool for all of that to click.
Right.
Because the comics are really like the start, the restart up of having the expanded universe.
Right.
And that was one of the first things I got into were the comics, the Star Wars series and the Vader series, and starting getting backstory anew on everything was really cool. If
To
you
get-
can spend $7,000 on weekly comic books, I suggest reading
Vader.
all of the series. The artwork for Vader is really,
Yeah, it
really,
is.
really good.
He looks like Vader. Every panel that Vader is in just looks incredible.
Yeah, because I read the Star Wars series, and I read some of the one-offs, but the Vader series, the artist for that, and I don't know his name off the top of my head, but the artist for the Vader series is amazing.
Yeah.
The artwork for that is so good.
He's really good.
It's really gritty and realistic. It's great.
Yeah, and, I mean, another thing, I guess, just to add to that, when Vader says, "I understand us," like, Palpatine, it's not like that really changes things for Palpatine, because Palpatine,
He doesn't care.
he knows that Vader is going to feel like that,
Yeah.
and it's almost like he wants Vader to feel like
well,
that.
That's been Palpatine's whole thing all along. Is like he almost just created this Death Star Suicide Squad just to piss Vader off.
Yeah.
Like he never really planned to use them for anything other than just to piss Vader off.
Right. To
He
get
never.
He
The
even
only
says
reason
in that conversation, like, I can sense your anger.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the lines exactly, but it comes across as, I want you this angry. This is how you should be.
Same thing with Tarkin in the book. Tarkin, like the only reason he sent Tarkin and Vader on that mission was pretty much just to piss
just
Vader off.
agitate Vader.
Yeah. He just wants to rile him up until
Right.
he's like as angry and as powerful as he can be because of how angry he is.
Because it's almost like Vader, when he's super angry, he has a clearer mind.
Well, I mean, that's the whole
and-
thing with the dark side
and
of the
it's
Force.
more-
Like, the angrier you are, the more powerful you are.
Sure.
And Palpatine's like, you're my bodyguard. I'm
Yeah.
just going to make you angry constantly and
Right.
just
Right.
continually to, like, your tolerance level for anger is just going to get higher and higher
Right.
until you're just super powerful and evil.
That's another thing that Palpatine says, is the dark side is all about strength. And this
Yeah.
is like him explaining to Vader almost why he had these, like you're saying, why he had these other people, why he, put out the order for these other people.
Yeah.
But, it's just, Palpatine wants him to feel like this. He did this on purpose. He knows Vader is probably plotting against him and, like, expects it to happen.
Yeah.
But it's all part of his plan. It's just, I don't know, it all worked out
Yeah.
for him the way he wanted it.
Palpatine.
Even though to Vader it seemed like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
I have to kill you.
Yeah. And that's what Palpatine wants. But
Right.
at this point, Palpatine
But Palpatine knows
Palpatine
Vader
doesn't
isn't going to
know-
get to that point for a
Yes.
while. And when
or
he
knows
does
that
get
he can't do it, at least for now. He
Sure.
Palpatine could overpower him
yeah.
with his, because he's stronger in the dark side.
But I don't know, but I don't think he anticipated it happening the way it ended up happening,
Yeah.
which was Vader aligning with Luke instead of the other way around and then killing Palpatine,
Yes.
you know?
Like getting so powerful in the dark side that he overpowered him that way and killing him.
Well, no, it was kind of the opposite. He resisted the urge of the dark side in the end
Yeah.
because he was like, oh, my son, he's killing my son, you know?
Yeah. And it was
Now
a
you're-
different set of emotions that made him stronger. Which is
Yeah. I guess he was just tapping into his
yeah. It's all I mean
like the
the
light,
Force
the
is all
light
about
side
emotion.
part of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
clicked again.
the,
I
the
guess.
power of love. That's
You ruined it.
that's the root of Star Wars.
Power of love.
Power of love and the friendships we make along the way.
Jeez.
Star Wars.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Now that no one's a fan of Star Wars anymore.
Let's talk about more Star Wars.
Yeah. So I was reading an article the other day about the guy that plays Han Solo, Alden Argergargert. Alden, I'm gonna try and pronounce his name for the first time ever. Alden Ehrenreich.
Third Reich.
That's what Michael
No.
says. So it was,
That's what your note says right here, Tyler. I know what you're talking about.
so he was in an interview about, because Donald Glover had been announced as Lando and all of that, and Alden was saying, I think he's going, I think that Donald Glover is going to be a great in the role because he's such a talented and interesting guy. But then this is really the first kind of official thing we've heard, because we all assume Chewbacca is going to be in the movie. But he actually said, and I can say that Chewbacca's in the film, although I know that's not a huge spoiler because we all assume it. And he says he's as much younger as I am in the film, but he's like 190 or something, so I don't think there's a huge growth spurt for him from like 190 to 210. So he's probably about the same height. So, slight so we can all assume that Lando, we all assumed before, Donald Glover getting announced as the casting of Lando, we all assumed Lando would be in the film, but there was never really a confirmation of it.
Yeah.
And we all assume, Chewbacca is going to be in the film, but now we have a confirmation that yes, he is in the film. We don't know who's playing him. I would assume they would use the same guy that played him in the action sequences from The Force Awakens, right?
What?
The guy that played Chewbacca in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I don't know.
That really tall, like Swedish dude.
Who played him
whatever.
in Revenge of the Sith? Do you know? I don't know that.
Mayhew was in Episode 3. I don't know if he played him the whole time.
I don't think he did.
But I know he wasn't in
I
one.
guess he was only really in that one scene with
Yeah.
Yoda, right?
Yeah, he
Maybe that
wasn't in
Mayhew.
Episode 1. Mayhew wasn't in Episode 1. And I know he didn't play Chewbacca in Episode 2 because I think that was probably a full CG. Well, the whole
Episode
movie was
2,
fully
he wasn't,
CG.
Chewbacca wasn't in Episode 2.
Yeah, he was.
When?
Wasn't he?
No.
Or maybe that was...
It was Revenge of the Sith when they
No,
went
with
to
Yoda,
Kashyyyk.
with Yoda on Kashyyyk, yeah.
Yeah, that
Never mind.
was-
So
that
yeah, he
was
was in
Revenge of the
Episode 3.
And it was only that one scene when Yoda was leaving Kashyyyk, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like Chewbacca was just standing there the whole time.
Yeah.
Which Mayhew can stand there.
Right.
That's about all he can do. And for Force Awakens, all he did was any like cockpit scenes and things like that in the Falcon, since
Where he
he
was
can't
sitting
really
down, right.
run around.
Right.
So we don't know if Mayhew is going to be a part of
I'm sure he will.
of Solo.
at some
I would
point.
assume they would give him some cockpit scenes or something just to have him in the credits as Chewbacca, because you can't really. Can you get by a Star Wars film without having Mayhew as Chewbacca in the credits?
That would be pretty rough.
But I assume for the action stuff that they would use the same guy from The Force Awakens.
What are you doing?
If you haven't seen the behind the scenes of
What the hell you going?
of Empire Strikes Back, it's the rough cut of Empire Strikes Back with like Chewie sitting like on top of the Falcon trying to repair it, but it doesn't have the Chewbacca voice over it. It's literally Mayhew yelling in his British voice. It's like, hey! Just yelling at Han while like Harrison Ford's like trying to deliver his lines like normally, and Mayhew's just up there just like berating him.
I don't know English dialects that well, but I think it's like a Northern England. It's like almost like a Cockney.
Yeah, he's just like, hey!
What the hell you going?
Yeah. I can just imagining Chewbacca actually sounding like that instead of having the Wookiee, various noises. It's just Chewie being like super British, like slang.
Oh, you wanker, put that chest piece back. Yeah, fucking droid. That's more Australian.
I don't know where you drifted in and out of there, but we were talking about this before too. I now kind of want Michael Caine to dub all of Chewbacca's lines and just have a Michael Caine Chewbacca track before the films.
Who are you calling a hairy? I can't do it.
just
That was
just
really
stop the
bad.
noises. Yeah,
That was really bad.
You're bad at noises.
practice.
You're bad at sounds, Michael. You should just stop everything.
I should practice this more often.
Yeah, but it's cool that Chewbacca is confirmed to be in the Han Solo film. So, again, how much of the story of Han and Chewbacca will we actually get? Will it remain the same as the expanded universe was, with Han actually being part of the Imperial, stuff?
I don't know.
But we know Chewbacca's at least going to be in it, so I don't know at what point in their friendship it will start in.
Right.
Which is
it'd be cool to. I mean, the beginning is the most interesting part, right?
Yeah, I would assume. Oh, and if you haven't seen pictures of Donald Glover recently, he has a Lando mustache now.
Does he really?
Yes, he does.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
And he looks perfect.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like young Lando. If you can find a recent picture of Donald Glover, I don't know what this was from, how recent it was, but he was scruffy all over, but he had the Lando mustache very prominently along with the scruff.
Really?
Like that 70s like porn stash that Lando had. Yeah.
All right, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, look him up. He looks fantastic. I cannot wait for him to be Lando.
Nice.
Who knows how much Lando will actually be in the film though either. What do you?
That's a pretty big relationship, right? I mean,
it was. I mean, obviously they're friends, and that's set in stone in the original trilogy. But how much?
Well, yeah. The thing is,
how much are they featuring him with the friendship of Han and Chewie as well in the film?
Well, yeah. I guess when he sees him again on Cloud City and Empire, it had been a while since they'd seen each other, right?
Yes.
They ended it sort of on bad terms, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the.
Is that when he got the ship?
Yeah, is that when he got the Falcon, or was it?
So maybe the movie ends with them getting the Falcon.
That would be kind of cool.
I can see that happening
the Falcon
now.
till the
Now
very
that I think
end.
about it. Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
They get the Falcon at the end.
Kind of cool.
And fly off into the sunset, friends forever until episode 7, and then one of them's dead.
Oh. One of them. We're not going to say who.
Well, you find out on your own.
We're not going to say who. That it's Han.
Okay,
We're not going to say who.
We're not going to say that it was Han, but I won't say anything.
I can't find. I typed in porn stash on Google.
That's not the right one.
Is that how? That's not how you get to it?
No. Just look up Star Wars porn stash.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
You got it.
Oh.
So, the lack of Rogue One tickets that happened, there was actually a new Rogue One trailer, an international trailer. Ooh, fancy. Which, I mean, the same thing happened with Force Awakens, where they had an international trailer, and suddenly there was like all these scenes and things that we hadn't seen in any other trailers or anything so far. For some reason, the international trailers get like a whole completely different trailer.
Oh, fancy.
Fancy. Ooh. We're just turning into Hedonism Bot from Futurama. Yep. No, but it was an awesome trailer. There was
some
an
stuff in
actual
it.
shot of the Death Star weapons test, or a Death Star weapons test. Mm-hmm. Like a super crappy test where it just kind of blasted a little bit.
Like blew up one house.
That was Independence Day.
Oh, that White House.
Yep. 1600 Pennsylvania. That one.
I don't know the address. It was a White House.
Who knows? It was a White House.
A White House.
Yeah. They blew up from a spaceship.
Yep.
Same thing.
Spaceship.
Rogue One is Independence Day. No, it was like a crappy.
I'll tell you
weapons
what's
test.
in this trailer.
Oh.
More shots of Vader with his slightly translucent.
Yeah, I love it. Like the crimson.
I want to say eye patches.
Peter's eye patch. Can you imagine him having eye patches on his helmet? Just like an eye patch on top of his helmet.
On top of the helmet.
Yeah.
I can imagine it.
No, but like his crimson like eye holes.
I know. What's the word? What's the word? Eye shields.
Lenses.
Yeah, that's probably the word.
Is that probably the technical term for like a helmet lens?
Is that
Eye sockets.
visor? Is that a visor?
No, it's just his eye holes.
Damn. Why is
His
this?
eye lenses. His eye glasses. His spectacles. Vader's spectacles in the Rogue One trailer. There were more shots of Vader, some more pissed off shots of Vader, and I love.
Well, there's just the one thing. What was it? Was that him motion you just did?
Who?
You just did. What was that?
Huh?
Just do that again.
I love.
Okay.
I love the return to the crimson eye lenses, whatever we want to call them. Because especially, and the toys have started doing that too. And I think I mentioned this before, but
Yeah.
previously with toys and various things, it would always be just a full black helmet. But Vader, very obviously, like if you look back at Empire and look back at other stuff, his actual eye lenses are a very like deep red, like crimson color.
Well, it's like that. It's like a
Cyclops.
gray coating. It's not like it's just a lens with a coating on it. You know?
But it has like
Instead
a slight
of
red tinge to it.
Like it's not mirrored or anything.
No,
It's
no.
just a translucent coating, which is all they could do back.
Well, yeah.
Back when.
But it had like a light crimson, like it was very deep red almost.
No, that's just the way like the light would pass through it. It would make it
yes,
look like
but
that.
the fact that you can see that now, again, is awesome.
Yes, because it's like the costume
Yes.
from A New Hope,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. It's a return to because that
Like
would have been
the
the same
OG
suit that he had before that
Exactly,
happened.
Yeah, it's like the OG costume.
Yes, which
yeah,
I love,
it's
and I
awesome.
think it's amazing. But yeah, there's another pissed off shot of Vader.
Eye lens, eye shield.
Lens, yeah, lens. I think is the best one
eye
that we can come up with.
shield, something like that. Why is that so hard to?
I don't know. What the helmet? What do helmets have?
Eye pieces.
Sure, Vader's eyepieces. There's a lot of little Jin in the trailer.
Yes.
Child Jin, with father and mother. Mother probably very shortly before she's getting murdered by stormtroopers, I assume.
Something.
She
happens
hands
to her.
Jin a necklace with a crystal on it.
Yes. What's that crystal?
What that crystal?
What that crystal?
I assume it's a kyber crystal. What other crystals are
Yeah,
in Star
it
Wars?
has to be.
There's no other crystals in Star Wars.
Well, the fact that the fact that I mean this whole movie is about
Kyber
kyber
crystals,
crystals,
yeah.
basically, right?
So is it just like a standard bog standard kyber crystal that does like nothing's happened to it? It's just plain. Is it a memory? Does it have like memory crystal? Is anything stored on it?
That's a good point. I don't know.
'Cause she was like,
I
you
don't
know,
think so because I think it's just a straight up kyber crystal because that's what her dad was working with.
could be.
So
So her
they
mom seemed to be
probably-
giving it to her, like saying like, I forget the dialogue now, but she was like something about the Force. Like she didn't say may the Force be with you, but
Well,
she.
kyber crystals are connected to the Force. I mean, it's,
Yes. But the way her mom was giving it to her, it was almost like, take this and go. I'm about to get murdered.
Oh,
And I assume the mom's gonna die, like, in the flashback of her childhood.
yeah, maybe.
But I'm wondering if she was giving that to her for a purpose. Is there anything on that crystal? Anything stored
I don't
there?
think so. They probably
Any
just have tons of
information, or is
those.
it just a straight up like, remember me because I'm about to die?
It's like if you're a coal miner, you just have coal in your house.
Yeah, your pockets are constantly full of coal.
Right.
You go to buy a hot dog and you accidentally try to pay with coal.
Right.
I know how it goes.
Right.
Been there.
So when you're about to get murdered by an
Yeah.
evil dictator,
You grab some coal and you
troopers.
chuck it at her.
yeah, and you give a gift of coal to your daughter
Yeah.
to remember you.
Say,
And you
squeeze
say,
it
"This could
real
be a
hard and
diamond."
you got diamonds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna squeeze so hard.
And then you're dead. And she just throws the coal right back on you.
Squeeze it so hard. Just squeeze it hard.
No thanks, Dad. And she just hands back the
No,
coal.
this is the
and
mom
leaves.
saying this.
Oh,
Why would the dad?
I don't know. The dad. Are women allowed to work in mines? Anyways.
Anyway.
No. So there's a kyber, or what I can assume is a kyber crystal in the trailer, which is cool to have a confirmation of crystals existing in the film. Whether
Yeah,
that
something that we
crystal,
knew already.
Whether that crystal means anything or is used for any purpose, I don't
Right.
know. I like to
We'll
speculate that it has
see.
a reason. Yeah, the Death Star weapons test was super crappy. It just kind of created like this giant dust storm. I don't know if it destroyed the whole planet, but it kind of created this weird shockwave of rocks flying that they had to
Yeah, I don't
escape
know.
from on a ship.
I don't know what that was all about.
So I don't know if the planets actually, because I'm assuming
And what planet was that?
I
Was that
assume
Jeddah?
there are no planets destroyed in this film by the Death Star since Alderaan would have been the first, right?
Was it Jeddah that they were firing on?
I doubt that. It looked really like dusty, like a dirt planet.
But Jeddah is a dirt planet, isn't it?
I think most planets are dirt planets. Jeddah seemed a lot prettier.
Sand. Let's say sand instead
Sure.
of dirt.
Sure.
No,
Whatever.
Jeddah wasn't pretty, was it? It looked kind of dirty
know,
and
maybe.
gross. At least that city that they're in.
But would they have a ground assault?
Jeddah's the planet, not the city, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
But they have a ground assault on Jeddah. So why would they have a ground assault if they're just going to shoot at it with the Death Star
What are you talking about, a ground assault?
on Jeddah?
There's no ground
There's
assault.
troopers all over the place.
Well, yeah, they occupy the planet. There's no ground assault.
So why would you destroy your own occupied planet?
No. Well, like you're saying, I don't think they destroy the planet, but are they testing the weapon on Jeddah?
On their own occupied planet?
I don't know. On the other side, maybe? I don't know.
That doesn't make
There
any
can only
sense.
be one sandy planet, right?
Yes, it's Star Wars. There's 10 planets and 10 people, and they all do everything together all the time. Star
Well,
Wars.
You know, Star Wars.
Yeah. The trailer
Uh,
was awesome, and hopefully tickets will go on sale so I can go see the movie some damn day.
well, you know,
Maybe.
I don't know if we're ever going to go on sale.
You
Not
just
us.
have to-
Not us. I meant to say the tickets. I
We're-
said
we're
I
gonna
said
go
we're
on
gonna
sale.
We're not going to.
Big news! We're on eBay. Us. Our persons.
That's our
That's
highest-
our hook! wait. What?
That's the show. No, that's our highest Patreon stretch goal.
To go see,
can
to
buy
go see
us.
to go buy us.
No,
to
no,
go see Rogue One.
What, without us?
I
What?
don't know. We buy you tickets to the movie.
Give us what, like 40
we
bucks?
buy you tickets to the movie to give to us so that we can see the movie.
Sure.
That's is that
No.
complicated enough.
No, they could buy us. Who knows what?
Aren't we already for sale? Is it all of this us selling ourselves,
Casting our bodies upon the internet.
throwing our skin against their ears? Wait, I don't, what are we? Please don't.
No, that's not.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
So we actually got questions, comments,
Am I ever gonna get to get these
noises. Nope. I'm never gonna let you get to that note
These
that
notes
you made
at
2
the-
episodes
I've had
ago.
in our notes for like 3 episodes now. And it
We're
just
waiting
keeps
until there's an episode with super nothing.
super nothing.
Yeah.
This hasn't been bad enough.
Nope. Not bad enough yet.
This
We're
is just
almost
pushed
there.
all the way down to the end.
We're almost to
it's
bad.
always at the very end.
We've almost reached bad.
There's this one link.
So, our listener, Nathan from the UK, said he loves the podcast and had a question that who is our least favorite character in the Star Wars universe? And we can't say Jar Jar.
Least favorite character.
I would go as far
Least?
as to say I'm not going to use anybody from episode 1 because that's cheating. Like Boss Nass, Watto, Sebulba. Like there's just like the whole ancillary cast of episode 1 is just a
too
ball of
obvious.
hate.
It's just too
It's too
obvious.
easy.
Yeah. And this has to be a full-on character with lines, right? Not just like
I would assume so.
not just like
Thank you.
you're welcome. Somebody in like
Yeah.
the stupid cantina bar in episode 2.
No, yeah, it can't be like Ponda Baba
like
or
the Death Sticks guy.
yeah.
Can't be like somebody like that. This has to be, well, he has lines, I guess.
I guess it can't be Doctor.
So what's the criteria?
Doctor?
here?
What's his face?
Doctor Strange.
Moreau.
Don't.
What is
Doctor?
Shit. What's the guy at the
Evanson?
cantina and A New Hope?
Dr. Evanson.
Yes, it can't be him. He's been through enough.
Didn't we talk about this? That his name isn't Evanson, it's something else.
Sure.
Do you remember?
Probably like episode 1. Anyways, the question: who is our least favorite character in the Star Wars universe?
Oh, Cornelius. You were trying to tell me he was Cornelius a while ago, many episodes ago, and I didn't
It
believe
was like
you.
episode 1 or 2.
It was early on.
It was really
early on. I didn't believe you, and it was true.
Yes, it's Dr. Cornelius.
Dr. Cornelius Evanson.
Yes, he has a name.
Evazin.
Yeah.
There's no in right there.
So okay,
Evazin.
my least favorite character in the Star Wars universe is C-3PO.
Really?
I hate him.
Explain that.
He's.
Why?
I think we went over this a couple episodes ago when I was talking about how annoying he was.
What? I don't remember this.
He has done nothing but bitch and complain and get in the way with everyone all the time.
But that's his.
R2
that's the
does
point.
everything. C-3PO does nothing.
That's like saying Jar Jar exists just to bumble around.
Well, he does, yeah.
Like, yeah, of course.
I'm not
that's-
saying C-3PO shouldn't be in the film. I'm just saying he's probably my least favorite character.
Really? That's
He looks super
surprising.
cool,
don't
and I
know.
like an action figure because he doesn't make noise. But I think C-3PO is probably, like, if I'm going to go high level character, C-3PO is probably my least favorite character consistently across all of the films.
Huh. Well, that makes me
I
rethink my choice.
Do not
then.
enjoy most of the things he does.
That's it. I would have never guessed that. you
Think
would
about
have picked
episode
him.
2. All of the things C-3PO does in episode 2.
Well, come on. Think about R2D2 in episode 2.
he
He's
at
got
least was
friggin' jetpack.
But that was at least useful in some form or fashion. It wasn't 30 minutes of C-3PO and yakety sax and his head getting knocked off. It was R2 did something. Yeah, so I'm going to say C-3PO. It may be controversial, but I dislike him greatly. But I know he serves a purpose, and I accept that.
Dang it. Well, that makes me want to rethink mine. Should I say my original one or think of a new one?
I mean, go for it.
So
I was just trying to think, like, high level, like, across all of the films, I consistently cannot stand anything he does, and it annoys me every time. And that's his purpose, and I get that, but he's probably my
Really?
least
So
favorite.
any scene involving 3PO in the original trilogy, you're like, ugh, why is this in here?
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Him bitching on the back of Chewbacca while they're running around. He's like, oh, there's a big... And then in episode 7, and yes, it was a comedic moment. It was supposed to be where he, like, jumped in front of Leia and, like, Chewbacca and was like,
That was
I've
perfect.
got a red arm. Doot, 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 doot. And then he just walks away. Like,
But that was the perfect...
I know it was the
Reintroduction of
point, but I just
C-3PO.
wanted to twist his head off.
But that's why he's there, is because it's like,
Again, I know his purpose and what it serves,
You
but I still cannot stand it every
fucking
time.
Gold droid fucker. Get out of here.
Yep.
That's what you're supposed to feel.
And I do. And that's why he's probably my least favorite character. I did not expect to say that, but it hit me as soon as I was going to say, as I was trying to think, crap, I never thought of one before we started recording. Wait a minute.
That's interesting.
I realized I hate C-3PO.
Huh. Okay, well, I have... All right. Well,
Sorry
I'm
if I
thinking-
screwed up your plans with going like super
Well-
long-running character there.
I'm thinking of two now. One is very controversial because now that I think about it, it's really don't like this person.
If you say Lobot, you're not allowed to keep on the podcast.
No.
Okay.
Lobot's awesome.
Whew.
Well, yeah, I think this is...
Boba Fett?
No.
I don't know. A lot of people, as
Enough.
cool as Boba Fett is, a lot of people cannot stand him because he's like, does nothing the
Oh.
entire original trilogy.
I read Tales from the Cantina, so I know all about the Boba Fett that is not canon anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Boba Fett got a new knee. Let's just say that.
Great.
He had to get a new knee.
Like a grandpa.
Yep. It was
Go
like
for
a,
it.
It was like a cloned knee too, wasn't it? It was from a clone or something.
Cloned a knee?
Yeah.
Just a knee.
Yeah.
They just
Just a
grew a
knee.
knee in a
His
jar
knee.
and they gave it to him. Go, character.
He
least
hunted
favorite.
a person with a bow and arrow, naked.
What?
It's true.
It's just like every
Wait,
Friday
was
night.
this Tales from the Cantina or was it Tales of the Bounty Hunter?
Tales from the Crypt? I don't think it was that.
Hold
We're gonna
on.
Take this break for Michael to
Hold
search
on.
the
Looking
internet.
the internet. Looking on the internet. It was Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
Okay.
It might have also... There might have been some stories in... There was Tales, Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales from Jabba's Palace, and Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
None of it's canon. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yes, doesn't matter, but I read Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and I think the Cantina one.
Fine. What's your least favorite character?
And I also read...
Nope.
Talking about... Yeah, Last One Standing, Tale of Boba Fett. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
This is totally off track of the purpose of this conversation.
Okay, all right.
Least favorite character? Star Wars universe.
All right, least controversial first, Unkar Plutt. I do not like Unkar Plutt. I think he's fat.
Gee. Fat
No,
shaming
that's not
Star
why.
Wars now.
No, that's not why. He's just not interesting to me. And maybe
Now-
because we have no backstory on him yet.
Yes.
But I think even if I did have backstory, I could care less about this.
But you get like his purpose of being on Jakku. He's just like the
Okay, he's
just like the owner of the trailer park of Jakku. Like,
Yeah, like who cares? Who cares?
yes.
I would pick the four-armed guy from Attack of the Clones that Obi-Wan goes to see. You remember him?
Grievous?
No.
What
No.
do you?
The
The
restaurant owner. No,
Zam?
Zam was the bounty hunter.
No, Zam's the bounty hunter. Oh,
What was that four-armed
he's
dude?
super annoying too. Yeah, he owns the diner in Clone Wars. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're just picking like crappy ancillary characters that had no purpose.
Jetster.
Really? Yes.
Jetster.
Jetster.
He gave Obi-Wan
Dex. Dex?
Was it Dex? Yeah, Dexter. Dexter Jetster.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, George.
That's George for you. Dexter.
Yeah, because Obi-Wan calls him Dex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Dex's Diner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tells Obi-Wan about the poison dart from Camino.
Oh, I haven't seen.
Yeah. I would pick him, and I can't. I don't
don't have
think
a
I could
reason?
tell you why.
He's just annoying.
I would want more backstory on him before I would want backstory on Unkar Plutt.
Like, why is this a guy that Obi-Wan knows and knows stuff about things?
Yeah.
Like, who is this guy that owns this diner?
Because Unkar Plutt, I guess, okay, so I can at least express this. Unkar Plutt, like you said, he's just some dude that has this tiny empire on Jakku.
Yeah. He's just like any.
He's
dirt
not a
planet.
hut. He doesn't have, from what you could see, any connections off-world. He just has this group of people.
Well,
that-
he at least has some kind of connection for the Imperials to alert him to capture the droid,
I think that's just contacts with.
like bounty hunters or
He
something.
just knows the First Order is in orbit because of contacts on the world.
What I'm saying to capture the droid, like he tries to buy the droid, he tries to buy BB-8, and then he like radios some other people to get the droid.
That's what I'm saying. I think he knows the First Order because they're in orbit. They've been in orbit for
Yes.
a while, right? At least a couple days, probably.
Yeah.
But I think he knows they're in orbit. He knows they're sending people down or what they're doing.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's just not interesting to me.
Sure.
I don't like him.
Okay.
The controversial one, Finn.
Really?
I don't really like Finn. And let me just clear this up.
There's a giant needle scratch, and our podcast is never gonna have listeners
I
again.
don't know. Maybe it's the coward thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that obviously we still have more character building for that
yes.
to go.
And I think he's like we've talked about this before. I think he's gonna wake up out of his coma or whatever, feeling like he doesn't have a purpose, and like there's really no reason to run anymore or just really
Yeah.
do anything. So he'll probably get over the coward stuff. But in Force Awakens, I don't know. I really liked his and Rey's relationship.
Yes.
That was great. It made the movie a lot better to have that.
Yes.
But he just felt, I don't know, just like overly cautious.
Like his naivety
And-
was annoying.
Yes. But like naivety,
Naivete.
but being super confident about what needs to happen and where he needs to
Like,
be.
oh, then we
like-
need to do stuff, but I'm not gonna do it.
but you don't know anything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. The more that I think about it, I think if I had to pick somebody that wasn't in the prequels, I think
Yeah.
I would say I don't really care for Finn.
Finn's character. That's what I think we talked about this a few episodes ago. But I'm really interested to see where his character goes
Mhm.
and what purpose it serves in the bigger picture. At this
Yeah, like
point.
I said, I'll probably change my mind.
because
after
yes,
8
like
comes out.
he almost.
But
I agree. He was
Anyway.
slightly annoying in Force Awakens, but I know he serves a purpose and has some purpose. I'm just really ready to see what that is in the bigger picture of still dealing with Rey and Luke and Kylo and like,
right,
okay, what do you have to do with any of this?
right, Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I think that's about it.
We had another question about kyber crystals. The difference between a memory
Oh.
crystal or a crystal that's used in a saber, or if a memory crystal could be used in a lightsaber. And the answer is, I don't think there's any extra information on those crystals and what the difference between them are, or if they can be used for a lightsaber or vice versa.
Offhand, I don't know anything about memory crystals.
Like at
in-
all, yeah.
in
Like I can't
holocrons.
I can't even remember in like a visual dictionary or anything else that has like any description or relationship between the two.
Right.
So I
Yeah, I really don't
Hokey
know.
Religion is an ancient word.
sorry. But that question does come from Daniel, and I really do want to now that spurs me to look into the fact to see why we don't know anything about those, or if there is information out there that I've just never come across.
Yeah.
Because I am now interested. Wait, how are they related, and can they be reverse engineered for any other purpose?
Memory crystals you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like I said, offhand, I don't really know anything about. I'd like to look into it, but I don't know if there's really any. Like you said, there's really
I
not
can't
any
think
canon.
of any canon other than like these holocrons have memory crystals. The end.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I can't think of them being like described in depth anywhere else.
Right. I really don't think there's any canon behind it.
Probably not.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'll look into it. If we find anything, we'll definitely mention it on another episode.
hmm
Um,
So where can people find us on the internet?
on the internet at Twitter at Hokey_religion. There's a guy that still owns at Hokey Religion. Everyone try to friend him. If he will friend anyone, please bother him until he gives it
At
to us.
this point, we're blaming all of our listeners for not having that.
It's all your fault. He actually won't friend anyone. You can email us at contact@hokeyreligion.com or asklobot@hokeyreligion.com. There's all kinds of email addresses. You can find us on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher, and please leave us a review on the places that allow those to be left. If you enjoy the show and feel like, donating any money towards the cause of us making it a better show, you can find us at patreon.com/hokeyreligion.
Better show. We're talking like more episodes. We're talking more
beer.
episodes. We're talking other things.
Silk pajamas. We're gonna
Mainly-
wear monocles.
Mainly more episodes.
Yeah.
And like the ability to maybe bring on real guests.
Yes.
Things like that.
Any contributions would go directly towards the show, to better equipment, to being able to take the time to do more episodes. Like, we would love to be weekly. We just, from a standpoint of time and money, we just can't.
Yeah, it's hard to justify that right now.
So yeah, if you
If you would want this weekly.
yes. No
That's
one.
not a- that's
I
not a-
don't even know if I do. So, but yeah. So you can find us on all of the things. In 5 months will be a celebration. You can find us there. To mention that again.
Every episode we'll be mentioning that.
Yeah.
In 5 months and 29 days.
Sure. Why not?
We'll be in celebration.
There's nothing interesting left to talk about. This has been Tyler.
This has been? Oh no. What's happening?
Shit's about to get real.
When we stop recording, something terrible is going to happen.
Yep, it won't be Tyler anymore.
This has been Tyler.
It was Tyler.
This was
It's
my
already
fault.
happening.
Oh, come on.
Hokey Religion.
All right, I don't need to record. I need to